It's time to do the unthinkable. After 18 years of sitting, waiting like a caged animal, it's time to take this 2006 RM250 for its first ever ride. Oh God, I've got butterflies, I've got goosebumps. I've got goosebumps. This is going to be special.
The first order of business today is to warm up this bike and run it in properly. But you guys don't want to see that, do you? You want to see this thing singing. So whilst we get it warmed up, let me remind you of the story so far. At the start of the summer, I bought a brand new and never been used 2006 Suzuki RM250 two-stroke. This was my dream machine growing up, and I couldn't believe that we managed to find a brand new example like this. Buying this bike was the biggest two-wheel purchase I'd ever made, and I couldn't decide whether to keep it locked in the vault and let the investment appreciate in value, or to say screw it and take her for a rip. I asked you guys for help in deciding what to do, and you let your thoughts be known. Ultimately, we made the choice to wave goodbye to at least half of the bike's value. We decided that it was time to let this machine free, to let it do what it was born to do. But before we arrived at the track, we at least tried to protect my investment in what small ways we could. During the recommission phase, where we made sure that the bike was healthy and safe to ride, we chose to preserve as many original Suzuki parts as we could. So that's the plastics, the ignition cover, the clutch cover, the pipes, etc, etc. And we also added a couple of aftermarket bits as well. After we'd done that, we were ready to head to the track.
So once we finish out the recommission and preservation process, when we swap the seats and the plastics and graphics for the spare set, this will be the first time that we've actually made a bike uglier than when we started, barring the HGS pipes front and back, which looks sick by the way. But looks won't play a part in the machine's performance today, and I cannot explain to you guys how excited I am to take this thing for a rip today. I've called this bike my dream ride, and for good reason. The reviews of this machine were phenomenal back in the day.
The RM250 was said to be everything a big four-stroke wasn't. It was snappy, barky, nimble, light and sharp. For 2006, the RM250 featured a much improved motor with better low to mid-end power that picked up cleanly off the bottom and surged through the mid-range. This made the overall power much more usable. The clutch, however, was said to be mushy and vague even when it was fresh. But in typical Suzuki fashion, the handling was said to be fantastic. Perhaps not the greatest in terms of straight line stability, but absolutely unbeatable in the turns.
For a couple of years there in the mid-2000s, MXA called the RM250 their two-stroke bike of the year. Regarding the 2006 model, this is what they quoted at the end of their review. Don't write a check for that new four-stroke until you've thrown a leg over this 250cc two-stroke. It's like no other bike on the planet. And if we look at reviews from more recent times, Greg Hitchcock has a really cool video where he did a shootout with all of the 252 strokes from the mid-2000s era, and this machine, the 2006 RM250, won that shootout over on his channel. So it's fair to say that this bike has some pedigree. It was massively hyped up back in the day, but will it live up to my expectations? Will it truly be my dream ride? Let's find out. So I'm geared up, we've made our final changes to the bike. The spare seats on, spare graphics and plastics are on. It's time for the moment of truth. Once I start this bike up and roll that way onto the track, there is no going back. It will no longer be a brand new, never been used RM250. How do I feel about that? Well, yesterday I was giddy. I was so excited at the thought of coming here to ride this bike. I've sat on it when we started it in the last video, and it just feels so nice and slim and nimble. I thought this is going to be an absolute weapon on the track, so I was excited. But I woke up this morning, and on the way to the track today, these butterflies have been building in my stomach. I was actually getting a bit nervous. My heart was going. Yeah, this feels like a big moment for me, a big moment for the channel, and hopefully a big moment for you guys. Hopefully you're going to enjoy this, but there's no turning back now. I'm going to ride this bike like I've never ridden a bike before. I'm going to try and enjoy it as much as I can. Like I said earlier, the reviews of this bike were phenomenal back in the day. I'm going to see if it lives up to that hype, or I'm going to find out if it's going to be a case of never meet your heroes. Is the power going to be as good as they say? Is the handling and chassis going to be as good as they say? Is the clutch going to be as bad as they say? We're about to find out now, so I'm going to keep all of those things in mind as I shred around here at Doncaster Motor Park on my nearly new 2006 Suzuki RM250. I'm really not joking, I feel a bit sick. Oh! Let's do this. I'm gonna go then, yeah? Take a moment to think about this. Let's do it. First ride. I like to ride a bicycle, I like to ride my bike. Oh yeah! What a machine! Okay, so I have spun a couple of warm-up laps now on the 250 from 2006. Oh my god! I'm having quite a bit of fun out here. Getting used to my new ride, my dream ride. It feels unlike anything I've really ridden before. I've not ridden a 250 two-stroke of this era. I have ridden 250 two-strokes, but more modern ones. And this is just amazing. The power is sublime. The chassis is all I hoped it would be. Ah, this is going to be a fun day. Yes! Come on, you little beauty! What a bike! Yes! Oh, first ride done. Took me a little minute there to get out of my own head and stop riding it like a wimp. I was like, oh, it's too new to do this, it's too new, but a couple of laps in I just thought, screw it, let's ride it like it was born to ride. I'm not saying I've done that yet, I don't know if I'll ever do that, but started picking up the pace a little bit, going through the gearbox, and what a sweet ride, man. What a machine. It just feels so good. I'm so happy right now I could cry. Oh, that takes the pain away of those dollars that I've just lost. Makes it a little less painful. It being so fun, so good. Everything I hoped it would be. So, did the RM250 live up to the hype? Was it as good as I hoped it was going to be? Absolutely. This bike was everything I wanted it to be and more. It was amazing, to be honest. When I'm asleep at night and I'm dreaming about riding motocross, this is what it feels like. The power is just superb. The handling, the chassis is as good as I thought it was going to be. It was as good as I'd read up on. The bike did not disappoint. Even the clutch, I thought that was fine. Some of the reviews that I read said that the clutch wasn't very good. The only thing I thought maybe was that the brakes weren't as sharp as my modern bikes, but hey, maybe that's to be expected. But all in, it just felt so smooth, so easy to ride, so easy to flow around the track. You just got into a flow state on this bike and it was so easy to have fun. And as you guys know, that's what I'm all about here on the channel. This truly is my dream ride. What's next for the 2006 RM250 on this channel? Well, we've ridden it now, so it's only right that it gets raced as well. So that is in the works, that is in the plans. This thing might well be raced at Farley Castle Vets MX, but Sean, who would be the man racing this bike, has to earn his opportunity. I'm not going to make it so easy to him. I'm not just going to hand over a nearly brand new 2006 RM250 for him to race. He's got to earn his right to race this machine at one of the world's best vintage motocross events. So that's coming in the next episode. Sean has to run the gauntlet against me to earn the right to race this bike. But to wrap things up, how am I feeling now at the end of the day? At the start of the day, I was super nervous. I felt a little bit sick when I started this bike up this morning and I turned my first lap. I knew I just lost a lot of money on this investment, but it was worth every single penny that I've just lost. It was so good as I hoped it was going to be. Like I say, the power was superb. The chassis and the handling is as good as you read about. Honestly, if you've never ridden an RM250 of this era and you get the opportunity, do not hesitate. It is so good. I could cry right now. This is my childhood dream complete. It's so good, man. This wouldn't have been possible without the support of our sponsors, that's Putoline, 24MX and O'Neill, and of course you guys for watching and supporting us here at 999 Laser. You've made this dirt bike kids' dreams come true. For everyone that did vote for option 1 in the first video, begging us, pleading for us to keep this bike pristine and brand new, I'm so sorry. I hope you can forgive me, and I hope those sweet tunes around here at DMP today make up for it. And as always, a massive thank you to Ed Bradley and the team here at Doncaster Motor Park for an awesome track. It was great out there today. A little bit rougher than I usually ride, but that was good, and it was a good testing ground for this bike. So as always, guys, my name is Max. You've been watching 999 Laser. Till next time, I'll see you at the track.